Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, sushidragonmasters, and today I am doing my March wrap-up. So, in March, I did something really crazy, and I read 12 books. So we're just going to get into this wrap-up, because that's a lot of books to talk about, and we all know that I talk a lot. So that is why I'm only calling this thing my March wrap-up. I'm not even going to try to stick the TBR in here, so let's do this. So in the month of March, besides reading 12 books, that added up to 1,950 plus pages. The reason I'm saying 1,950 plus is because some of the books, when I went to go look on Goodreads for the page count to add this all together, there was no page count, so I didn't know what to do. So that's what we're going to say. I started 4 series. I completed 0 series. I did read at least 1 contemporary. I read 5 authors that were new to me, so now let's get into the books. The first book I read in March was Singing Fire by T.L. Martin. I was sent this by the author in exchange for an honest review, so I do have a full video review of. I will link that in the description. But this book is an urban fantasy about a girl named Charlie, and I really liked it. I gave it a 4 out of 5, and I'm going to stop that there because I do have a full review where I talk about it more, and the more I can reduce my talking, the quicker we will get through this, and that will guarantee that we won't be here for hours. So immediately after finishing Singing Fire, I read Volume 2 of the Dragons Riders of Berk comics. It was Dangers of the Deep, and it's written by Simon Furman, who I believe is a writer for the show. And I don't know if you guys remember this, because I read the first volume a really long time ago. I think it was over the summer, and I really didn't like it, and I gave it like a 2 out of 5. But volume 2 was so much better. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I loved it so much. And for Dragons fans, the Submaripper appears for the first time in this comic. This is the origin of the Submaripper, guys. I am so excited to see it. It was so amazing. I actually kind of wish that I would have just tried to read the second volume before I watched season 4 of Race to the Edge, because then I would have known what a Submaripper was, and I didn't do it because I thought I was going to hate it, and now I really want to go pick up the rest of the volumes and finish the comic series. So then, there was more dragons. There was The Serpent's Heir by Guy Dubois. He is the writer and director, I believe, for the How to Train Your Dragon movies, and I loved this so much. It is so amazing. I gave it a 5 out of 5. It's definitely like something that I would push at all How to Train Your Dragon fans. Especially, even if you're only fans of the movies, this is still something that is really cool. It takes place immediately after the second movie, so if you haven't watched the second movie yet, you do have to do that before reading this. And this is just so amazing. I know I said that a bajillion times, but it felt like watching an episode of the show, but like a really good one, like better than Blindsided. And it's just, Guy Dubois needs to write an episode of the show. He just has to. I know he's not going to, but I still have this secret hope that one day he will, and it'll be the best episode ever. But he is too busy working on the 3rd movie, so he can't work on the show, and it's so sad. After The Serpent's Heir, I read Empress of 1,000 Skies by Rhoda Belleza. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. This is a sci-fi book. We follow Rhiannon and Alyosha in alternating point of views. Rhiannon is the heir to the throne of this kingdom on this one planet, but then there's an attempt. What am I trying to say? There's an attempted assassination of her, but everyone believes she's dead, and Alyosha is blamed for her assassination, and they're just both on the run, and it's amazing, and I loved it. I'm not even a big sci-fi fan, but it was so good. So guys, if you like sci-fi, or even if you don't like sci-fi, go read it, because it's amazing. after Empress of a Thousand Skies, I read The Time Museum by Matthew Lowe. This is a graphic novel about this museum where you can literally just travel through time. Like, anyone from any time period can go to this museum. So you can go there and you can meet people from the future or the past, and it has all this history from every different year of the world. And it was a cool concept, but I ended up not liking it that much. I thought it was okay, it was pretty cute, and I gave it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was more of like a middle grade story, but I found it in the young adult section, so I thought it was going to be a little bit more actiony and stuff like that, but it turned out to just be a cool, fun thing. So maybe if I had gone into that knowing that, I would have given it a higher rating, but I just happened to not know that going into it. And I also wasn't the biggest fan of the art style, but I wasn't like, I didn't hate it either, like I just found it okay. But if you are a fan of like cool, cute, friendship-like stories, then I would recommend this to you, and it's pretty cool. It is apparently having a sequel come out. Don't know when it's coming, but apparently it's having a sequel, and I would be willing to read it. After that, I read By Your Side by Casey West. This was my first Casey West book, and I gave it a 3 out of 5 because I was expecting that from it. I was just expecting something light and fluffy and cute and romance-y and stuff, and that's exactly what I got. And since, that was pretty much it for the plot, like, there wasn't much to base my rating off of, so I just gave it a 3 out of 5, because even though I enjoyed it, I wouldn't call it the best thing ever. But I have also heard that this isn't the best Casey West book, so I do have a P.S. I Like You, which I'm planning to read at some point, and hopefully it is better than this, but even if it's not, I would still come back to Casey West anytime I need something really quick and fun, because that's what this was. So if you do want something really quick and fun, I would recommend Casey West, even though I've only read one of her books. But this book follows a girl in Autumn who gets trapped in a library, and she happens to get trapped in there with a boy, and things happen. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cute, if you like cute romance contemporaries. I think I said this already, but I'd recommend this to you guys. Pretty cool being locked in a library seems pretty cool, so maybe, well, to me. Probably to someone who's not a reader, that sounds like a nightmare, but I just read a bunch of books the whole time. Then after that, I did something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I reread Tone Deaf by Olivia Rivers. I actually read this back in August for the first time, and I read it again, and I liked it just as much, so I gave it the same rating, a 4.5 out of 5. This book follows Allie, who is deaf, and she goes to this concert with her friend, and she ends up winning the chance to go meet the band, and things kind of go from there. And it's one of the things that, like, if I know someone even sort of kind of likes contemporary, I'll be like, here, read this. But I do know that if you don't like contemporary, you probably won't like it. If you don't like romance, you probably won't like it. But I really like it, and it's cool, and I wish more people on BookTube have read it, but I don't think many BookTubers have read it, but it's really good. Then I had a fun time listening to Mark Twain short stories on audio. I listened to 3 of them while coloring, and it was just the best time ever. The first one I listened to was The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County. I gave this one a 3 out of 5. It wasn't my favorite Mark Twain thing ever, but it's also not my least favorite. That title goes to Huckleberry Finn. I really did not like Huckleberry Finn. Although now that I've listened to this one on audio, because I heard from my sister that it's written in a similar way that Huckleberry Finn is written in, like, you know how it's it doesn't look like it's English, basically. So I feel like maybe if I were to go back and listen to Huckleberry Finn rather than reading it, I might actually like it. So I'm considering doing that. But like I said, it's just not my favorite Mark Twain story, but it is still kind of amusing. And then the next one was The Story of the Bad Little Boy, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5. This was actually a reread, because it was just like an audio book of like a bunch of them, but I didn't listen to the whole thing, even though it was like only an hour. I could have done that, but I was like, I wanted to rate each individual story individually. So this one is, like I said, I read it before. It's pretty amusing. It kind of goes together with the story of The Good Little Boy, which I read in August, which was again something I read for the second time. And the last one I listened to is Cannibalism in the Cars, and this one I gave a 5 out of 5. I declared it my favorite Mark Twain short story ever. And it's just, if you're a fan of Mark Twain and you haven't read this yet, you need to go do that, because it is so funny. It's just the best thing ever, and I loved it. Then, after I finished the whole Mark Twain day, I read Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book of the Grisha trilogy, and I gave it a 4.75 out of 5, because it's the best thing ever. Well, not the best thing ever, but I loved it so much, and I didn't even think I was going to like it, but then I did, and it was so good. I read the second book, but it didn't make it into this wrap-up, but I did read it. And I can't wait to read the third book, but I don't have it yet, so I was thinking of reading Six of Crows first, but then I was like, wait, it might spoil me for the ending of Ruin and Rising. I don't know if it's going to do that or not, so I'm waiting until I get Ruin and Rising so that I can read Ruin and Rising, and then I can read Six of Crows, and I'm talking really fast. If you don't know what the Grisha trilogy is about, it's about a girl named Alina, which is, I might be pronouncing that wrong, and she finds out that she is a Grisha, which is, in this world, the Grisha are the people who have powers, and then the Darkling, the wonderful Darkling whom I love, takes her to his palace thingamajig, and things happen, and it's awesome. And I love the Darkling, even though he's the villain, and like, I don't ship Alina with him or anything. But I love him as a villain, but I also just love him in general. Like, he's just cool and he's the best. Then I finished out the month by reading The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, and I actually have read this before, but I read it again with a friend, and it was still creepy. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. So, those were all the books I read in March. Comment down below and let me know if you read any of these, and if so, what you thought of them. Don't forget to subscribe to see when my next video comes out, because I upload videos every Monday and Friday, and I will see you guys next time.